You might think you know about Kamala Harris's wealth, but the truth will shock you. From a modest income as a public servant to a multi-million-dollar net worth, Harris's financial journey took an unexpected turn. What caused this dramatic shift in her fortunes? Let's rewind a bit. Back in 2010, Harris reported her highest income of $263,000. Not too shabby, right? But then things took a nosedive. In the following years, her income dropped below $160,000. That's quite a pay cut for someone in the public eye. So how did Harris go from a comfortable but not extravagant salary to joining the Millionaires Club? There's a twist in this story that changed everything. A single event that catapulted her into a whole new financial stratosphere. Curious? Well, stick around because we're about to dive into the details of Harris's surprising rise to wealth and the lavish lifestyle that came with it. The game-changing marriage. In 2014, Kamala Harris tied the knot and inadvertently joined an exclusive club. Her new husband's profession, let's just say it's a field where seven-figure salaries are the norm. How did this power couple's combined assets suddenly put them in the same league as some of America's wealthiest families? Enter Doug Emhoff, the man who would change everything for Kamala Harris. An entertainment lawyer with a golden touch, Emhoff's annual income was nothing short of impressive. While Harris had been earning a respectable but not extravagant salary as a public servant, Emhoff was pulling in over $1 million a year. That's quite a step up, isn't it? But Emhoff's income was just the tip of the iceberg. His financial portfolio was a testament to his savvy investment strategies. With stakes in over 30 stocks from major companies like Home Depot and Comcast, Emhoff had built a diverse and lucrative investment portfolio. This wasn't just about a high salary, it was about smart money management and long-term wealth accumulation. The marriage marked a turning point in Harris's financial journey. Suddenly, her household income skyrocketed and her net worth saw a dramatic increase. It's a classic case of two is better than one, especially when it comes to finances. The combination of Harris's political career and Emhoff's legal expertise created a power couple in more ways than one. Emhoff's client list reads like a who's who of corporate America. We're talking about big names like Walmart and Abbott Labs. These high-profile clients weren't just prestigious, they were incredibly lucrative. Each case, each contract negotiation, each legal victory added to the couple's growing wealth. But let's not forget about Harris's own career trajectory. As she climbed the political ladder, her own earning potential increased. The financial disclosures tell a fascinating story of how her income rose significantly after marrying Emhoff. It's a perfect storm of career success and strategic partnership. Their union represents a modern take on wealth and partnership in politics. Here we have a successful lawyer and a rising political star, navigating their public lives while managing a blended family. It's not just about the money, it's about the combination of influence, power, and financial acumen. Harris has described her relationship with Emhoff as deeply supportive, emphasizing their mutual respect and love. This emotional foundation, combined with their financial success, has contributed positively to their public image. They're not just a wealthy couple, they're a team that supports each other's ambitions and successes. The Harris-Emhoff partnership illustrates how marriage can be a game changer when it comes to wealth accumulation. It's not just about combining bank accounts, it's about leveraging each other's strengths, supporting each other's careers, and making smart financial decisions together. Riding in style, the Harris-Emhoff fleet. When you reach a certain level of wealth and power, even your daily commute becomes a statement. What vehicles do you think are parked in the Harris-Emhoff garage? The answer might surprise you, and it's a far cry from Kamala's early days as a public servant. Kamala Harris's journey from a modest public servant to a member of the political elite isn't just reflected in her bank account. It's also evident in how she and her husband, Doug Emhoff, get around. Gone are the days of public transportation and government-issued vehicles. The Harris-Emhoff family now travels in style, befitting their status as one of America's most influential couples. Back when Harris was serving as California's Attorney General, her transportation options were limited to what you'd expect for a public official. She likely had access to a standard government vehicle, nothing too flashy or extravagant. It was all about function over form, getting from point A to point B without much fuss. But oh, how things have changed. Since her marriage to Doug Emhoff and her rise to the vice presidency, Harris's transportation game has been seriously upgraded. While specific details about their personal vehicle collection are not publicly disclosed, it's safe to assume that the couple now has access to a fleet of high-end luxury vehicles. As the Vice President of the United States, Harris is entitled to use official government vehicles for her transportation needs. This includes the famous armored limousine known as the Beast, a custom-built Cadillac designed to protect its high-profile passengers. When she's not in the Beast, Harris likely travels in other luxury vehicles that combine style, comfort, and top-notch security features. But it's not just about cars. The Harris-Emhoff family's transportation options extend to the skies as well. As Vice President, Harris has access to Air Force Two, a Boeing C-32 aircraft specifically designated for the VP's use. This isn't your average commercial flight. It's a flying office equipped with state-of-the-art communication systems and luxurious amenities. For shorter trips, or when Air Force Two isn't necessary, the couple might use private jets or helicopters. While we don't have specific information about their personal aircraft usage, it's common for high-ranking officials and wealthy individuals to opt for private air travel for its convenience, security, and privacy. The contrast between Harris's current transportation options and her pre-marriage, pre-VP days is stark. It's a tangible representation of how far she's come in her career and financial status. From potentially taking public transport or driving a modest car to now having a selection of luxury vehicles and aircraft at her disposal, Harris's transportation choices have evolved dramatically. This upgrade in transportation isn't just about luxury, it's also a necessity given Harris's current role. As Vice President, her security is paramount, and her transportation needs to reflect that. The vehicles she uses aren't just about getting from one place to another, they're mobile fortresses designed to keep her safe in any situation. Million-dollar homes. Ever wondered what kind of home a vice president calls their own? The Harris-Emhoff residences might surprise you. Their real estate portfolio is a testament to their success, reflecting their journey from public servants to power couple. Let's start with their crown jewel, a luxurious home in Brentwood, California. Purchased in 2012 for a cool $2.7 million, this property is more than just a house. It's a symbol of their rising status. Situated in one of Los Angeles' most desirable neighborhoods, the Brentwood home puts the Harris-Emhoffs in the company of Hollywood celebrities and business tycoons. But that's not all. Until recently, the couple also owned a high-end condo in Washington, D.C. This wasn't just any apartment, it was a piece of prime real estate in the heart of the nation's capital. In 2021, they sold this property for $185 million, adding a significant boost to their already impressive net worth. The sale of their DC condo is a perfect example of the Harris-Emhoffs' savvy approach to real estate. They didn't just live in these properties, they invested in them. The substantial profit from the condo sale shows how their real estate choices have contributed to their growing wealth. Now, let's talk about their Brentwood home. While we don't have all the details, we can imagine what a $2.7 million home in one of LA's most exclusive neighborhoods might look like. Picture spacious rooms with high ceilings, large windows letting in that California sunshine, and a backyard perfect for entertaining. It's likely equipped with all the modern amenities you'd expect in a luxury home, maybe a gourmet kitchen, a home gym, or even a private cinema room. The location of their Brentwood home is significant too. This isn't just about having a nice place to live, it's about being in the right neighborhood. Brentwood is known for its privacy and security, essential factors for a high-profile couple like the Harris-Emhoffs. It's the kind of place where you might bump into a movie star at the local farmer's market or see a tech mogul jogging down your street. Their choice of homes reflects a dramatic shift from Harris's earlier years as a public servant. Back then, her living arrangements were likely more modest, in line with her salary as a district attorney or state attorney general. Now, as part of a power couple with a multi-million-dollar net worth, her homes are a far cry from those early days, the lucrative world of books and speaking. While their homes are impressive, they're just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the Harris-Emhoff wealth. Ever wondered how a career in public service can lead to such financial success? The answer might surprise you, and it has nothing to do with politics. In the world of power and influence, It's not just about where you live or what you drive. Sometimes it's about the words you write and the speeches you give. For Kamala Harris, her journey from public servant to millionaire took an unexpected turn when she ventured into the world of publishing and public speaking. Let's talk numbers for a moment. In 2018, the Harris Emhoff household income peaked at a staggering $1,889,156. That's right, nearly $2 million in a single year. But here's the kicker. A significant portion of that came from an advance for Harris's memoir, The Truths We Hold. We're talking about a $300,000 payday just for agreeing to put pen to paper. Now you might be thinking, sure, but writing a book is hard work. And you'd be right. But consider this, that $300,000 was just the advance. Once the book hit the shelves, Harris stood to earn even more from royalties. It's like getting paid twice for the same job. But the book deal wasn't just about the money. It was a strategic move that boosted Harris's public profile and opened doors to other lucrative opportunities. Think about it. A successful book leads to interviews, which lead to speaking engagements, which lead to more books. It's a cycle of increasing visibility and income. Speaking of speaking engagements, let's not forget about those. While we don't have specific figures for Harris's speaking fees, it's not uncommon for high-profile politicians to command 5- or even 6-figure sums for a single appearance. Imagine earning more for an hour-long speech than many people make in a year. Stocks and investments. Public service and publishing deals aren't the only paths to wealth for political figures. The Harris Emhoff family has a secret weapon in their financial arsenal, one that's been steadily growing their net worth without making headlines. What investment strategy has been silently padding their bank accounts? The answer lies in a diverse and carefully managed stock portfolio. Doug Emhoff, the other half of this power couple, has proven himself to be quite the savvy investor. His financial acumen has played a crucial role in building and maintaining the family's wealth, often operating behind the scenes while Harris took center stage in the political arena. Emhoff's investment strategy wasn't just about picking a few hot stocks and hoping for the best. No, he spread his bets across a wide range of companies, holding shares in at least 30 different stocks. We're talking major players here: Home Depot, St. Jude Medical, Comcast, and American Express, just to name a few. This diversification strategy helped protect their wealth from market fluctuations and ensured steady growth over time. But here's where things get really interesting. When Harris announced her Senate run in 2015, Emhoff made a strategic move that showcases the couple's approach to balancing public service and personal finance. He sold off many of his stocks, including shares in CVS Health and Oracle. Now, you might be wondering, why would he do that? Wouldn't selling off valuable assets potentially hurt their bottom line? Well, this move wasn't about making a quick profit, it was about playing the long game. By selling these stocks, Emhoff was proactively avoiding potential conflicts of interest that could arise during Harris's campaign and subsequent time in office. It's a classic example of putting integrity and public service ahead of personal gain, a move that likely earned them respect in political circles and among voters. But don't think for a second that this meant they were tightening their belts. Even with these sell-offs, the Harris Emhoff financial machine kept humming along nicely. In fact, their reported joint income peaked at a staggering $1,889,056 in 2018. That's right, nearly $2 million in a single year, and a significant portion of that wealth can be attributed to their smart investment strategies. Now, you might be thinking, sure, it's easy to make money when you're already rich. But here's the thing. The Harris Emhoff approach to wealth building isn't just about having money to invest. It's about making smart, strategic decisions with the resources you have. Their story is a masterclass in financial management, showing how a combination of diverse investments, timely decision-making, and a willingness to adapt to changing circumstances can lead to significant wealth accumulation. It's worth noting that this level of financial transparency is somewhat unusual in politics. During her 2020 presidential campaign, Harris took the step of releasing 15 years of her personal tax returns. This move provided unprecedented insight into her financial journey and the impact of her marriage on her wealth. It's a level of openness that not many politicians are willing to embrace. The vice presidential shift, a surprising twist in their financial journey, was just around the corner. What could possibly cause such a dramatic shift in the fortunes of this power couple? Kamala Harris's ascension to the vice presidency in 2021 marked a significant milestone in her political career, but it also ushered in unexpected changes to her financial landscape. The transition from senator to vice president brought with it a paradoxical shift in the Harris-Emhoff household finances. Before taking office as vice president, Harris and her husband Doug Emhoff reported a combined income of over $3 million in 2019. This substantial sum was the result of their high-powered careers, Harris as a senator and author, and Emhoff as a successful entertainment lawyer. However, their financial situation took a surprising turn after Harris assumed her new role. By 2023, the Harris-Emhoff household income had plummeted to approximately $450,000. This dramatic decrease, amounting to about 85% of their previous earnings, came as a shock to many who assumed that higher office equated to higher pay. The reality, however, is quite different. The vice president's salary, while certainly respectable, pales in comparison to what Harris and Emhoff were earning in their previous roles. As vice president, Harris receives an annual salary of $235,100, a figure that has remained unchanged since 2014. This amount, while more than 4 times the median household income in the United States, represents a significant pay cut for Harris. But the financial adjustments didn't stop with Harris. Doug Emhoff, whose lucrative law career had been a major contributor to their household wealth, also made a career shift that impacted their bottom line. Upon Harris's inauguration, Emhoff transitioned from his role as a high-earning entertainment lawyer to a faculty position at Georgetown University Law Center. Emhoff's new role as a professor brings in nearly $200,000 per year. While this is a substantial salary in its own right, it's a far cry from the 7-figure income he was accustomed to in his previous career. This career change was likely motivated by a desire to avoid potential conflicts of interest that could arise from his legal work while his wife serves as vice president. The financial implications of these career shifts raise interesting questions about the intersection of public service and personal finances. On one hand, the significant income reduction might seem like a deterrent for successful individuals considering high-level government positions. On the other hand, it underscores the idea that public service often requires personal sacrifice. Despite the drop in income, it's important to note that the Harris-Emhoff family isn't exactly struggling. Their net worth is estimated to be around $8 million, up from $7 million in 2021. This increase in net worth, despite the decrease in income, is largely attributed to their real estate assets and pension. The $8 million question. Speaking of bank accounts, let's talk numbers. The Harris-Emhoff family's financial story takes an unexpected turn when you look at their total net worth. How does a power couple in the second highest office actually compare to the average American household? Forbes estimates the net worth of Kamala Harris and Doug Emhoff at approximately $8 million, up from $7 million in 2021. This figure puts them squarely in the millionaire club. But it's not quite the astronomical wealth you might expect from a high-profile political couple. To put this in perspective, the average net worth of American households is around $746,821. So while the Harris-Emhoffs are certainly doing well for themselves, they're not exactly in the same league as some of the ultra-wealthy political figures we've seen in recent years. But where does this $8 million come from? It's not all paychecks and book deals. A significant portion of their wealth is tied up in real estate and investments. Remember that $2.7 million Brentwood home we talked about earlier? That's a big chunk of their net worth right there. Add to that their smart investment strategies, particularly Doug Emhoff's diverse stock portfolio, and you start to see how they've built their wealth over time. It's worth noting that their net worth has increased despite the significant pay cut Kamala Harris took when she became vice president. This growth is largely attributed to their real estate assets and pension. It's a testament to the power of smart investing and the long-term benefits of property ownership. But how does their $8 million stack up against other political figures? Well, It's a far cry from the wealth of someone like former President Donald Trump, whose net worth is estimated at $5.9 billion. Even compared to other recent vice presidents, the Harris-Emhoff fortune is relatively modest. For instance, when Joe Biden left the vice presidency in 2017, his net worth was estimated at around $9 million. The modern family. What unique family dynamic sets them apart from the typical political household, and how does it resonate with millions of Americans? When Kamala Harris married Doug Emhoff in 2014, she didn't just gain a husband, she became part of a modern blended family that's capturing the hearts of many Americans. This isn't your typical political family, and that's precisely what makes it so intriguing. At the center of this family are Doug Emhoff's two children from his previous marriage, Cole and Ella. These young adults have embraced Harris as a stepmother, but with a twist. They've given her the affectionate nickname Momala, a term that perfectly encapsulates the warmth and closeness of their relationship. But here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't a story of a new stepmother replacing the old. Instead, Harris has become part of what she describes as a three-person parenting squad. This unique dynamic includes Harris, Doug, and the children's mother, Kirsten Emhoff. It's a setup that challenges traditional notions of family and showcases a level of cooperation and mutual respect that's truly admirable. Ella Emhoff, Doug's daughter, has publicly praised this arrangement. She's described how all three parents work together, supporting each other and the children. It's a far cry from the often tense relationships we see in many blended families, especially those in the public eye. Harris herself has been open about her role as a stepmother. She said, "I never wanted to come into this house with the whole stigma of step." This attitude reflects her commitment to being a genuine part of the family, not an outsider or a replacement figure. The vice president has also been candid about her initial hesitation to meet Doug's children. In her memoir, she reflected on wanting to ensure her relationship with Doug was solid before integrating into their lives. This thoughtful approach shows a level of consideration that many Americans can relate to, especially those who have navigated the complexities of blended families themselves. The second gentleman. What unforeseen challenges and opportunities has Doug Emhoff encountered as he steps into the uncharted territory of being the nation's first second gentleman? Doug Emhoff's transition from a successful entertainment lawyer to the first ever second gentleman of the United States marks a significant shift in both his career and the traditional roles associated with political spouses. This unprecedented position has brought with it a unique set of challenges and opportunities, reshaping not only the Harris-Emhoff family dynamics, but also the public's perception of political partnerships. As second gentleman, Emhoff has taken on a role that has no historical precedent. Unlike the well-established position of First Lady or even Second Lady, there's no playbook for a male spouse of a female vice president. This lack of precedent has allowed Emhoff to define the role on his own terms, focusing on issues that align with his personal values and the administration's priorities. One of the most significant aspects of Emhoff's new role is his dedication to public service and advocacy. He's taken on a range of issues, including mental health, education, and community service. This shift from a high-powered legal career to public advocacy represents a substantial change in Emhoff's professional life, trading courtroom battles for public speaking engagements and community outreach. Emhoff's career transition has also had a notable impact on the family's finances. As a successful entertainment lawyer, Emhoff was accustomed to a seven-figure salary. However, his new role as second gentleman and his position as a faculty member at Georgetown University Law Center have resulted in a significant reduction in his personal income. This financial adjustment underscores the sacrifices often made by political families in service of their country. The role of second gentleman has also put Emhoff in the public eye in ways he hadn't experienced before. As a lawyer, his work was largely behind the scenes. Now he finds himself in the spotlight, with his actions and words scrutinized by the media and the public. This increased visibility has required Emhoff to navigate a new kind of professional landscape, one where his personal life and public role are inextricably linked. Emhoff's embrace of his role as second gentleman has been met with widespread positive reception. His support for his wife's career and his willingness to take on a supporting role challenged traditional gender norms, especially in the realm of politics. This modern partnership dynamic resonates with many Americans who are navigating similar shifts in their own relationships and careers. The second gentleman's role has also provided opportunities for Emhoff to champion causes close to his heart. He's been particularly vocal about the importance of gender equity, using his platform to advocate for women's rights and equal opportunities. This aligns well with the administration's focus on gender issues and showcases how political spouses can amplify key messages and initiatives. Emhoff's transition has not been without its challenges. Balancing his new public role with his family life and maintaining his own identity outside of his wife's career has required careful navigation. However, Emhoff has approached these challenges with a sense of humor and humility that has endeared him to many observers. The role of second gentleman has also allowed Emhoff to break new ground in terms of male involvement in traditionally female-dominated spheres of influence. His active participation in events and initiatives typically associated with first ladies or second ladies challenges long-held assumptions about gender roles in politics and public service. The next generation. The Harris-Emhoff family isn't just making waves in politics, they're also leaving their mark on the fashion and entertainment industries. What unexpected twists have Ella and Cole's careers taken since their stepmother's rise to vice presidency? When Kamala Harris stepped into the role of vice president, it wasn't just her life that changed. Her stepchildren, Ella and Cole Emhoff, suddenly found themselves thrust into the national spotlight. But these young adults aren't content to simply bask in their parents' reflected glory. They're carving out their own paths, and their journeys are anything but ordinary. Let's start with Ella Emhoff. She's not your typical political offspring. Instead of following in her stepmother's footsteps, Ella has set her sights on the glittering world of fashion. And she's not just dipping her toes in the water, she's diving in head first. Shortly after the 2021 presidential inauguration, Ella signed with IMG Models, one of the most prestigious modeling agencies in the world. This isn't some small-time gig. We're talking about the same agency that represents supermodels like Gigi and Bella Hadid. It's a big deal, and it speaks volumes about Ella's potential in the fashion industry. But Ella's not content with just walking the runway. She's also making waves as a designer. She describes herself as a multidisciplinary artist and creator, focusing on knitting and upcycling materials for her work. It's an interesting blend of high fashion and sustainability that's catching the eye of industry insiders. Ella's rise in the fashion world has been meteoric. She's already walked in shows for some seriously big names. We're talking Balenciaga and Proenza Schouler, brands that even casual fashion observers would recognize. For a newcomer to the industry, landing gigs with these high-profile designers is no small feat. But Ella's not the only Emhoff child making moves. Her brother Cole is carving out his own path in the entertainment industry. While we don't have as many details about Cole's career, we do know he's been working in entertainment production. Specifically, he's been involved with Plan B Entertainment, a production company co-founded by none other than Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. Working in production might not be as flashy as modeling, but it's a crucial part of the entertainment industry. Cole's behind-the-scenes role could potentially lead to some serious influence in Hollywood down the line. And let's be honest, having connections to both the White House and Hollywood isn't a bad position to be in. Both Ella and Cole have shown they're not afraid to step into the public eye when needed. Cole, for instance, introduced his father Doug Emhoff at the Democratic National Convention. It was a moment that highlighted the family's close-knit dynamic and showed that Cole is comfortable with public speaking, a valuable skill in both politics and entertainment. Ella, too, has been vocal about her family connections. She's publicly defended Kamala Harris against critics, showing a fierce loyalty to her stepmother. In one instance, she fired back at those who called Harris childless, stating, "How can you be childless when you have cutie pie kids like Cole and I?" It's a reminder that despite their own burgeoning careers, Ella and Cole remain firmly part of the Harris-Emhoff family unit. Love and politics. Behind every great leader is a strong support system, and Vice President Kamala Harris is no exception. Her relationship with husband Doug Emhoff has been described as vomit-inducingly cute by their own children. But how does this power couple keep the spark alive while juggling the demands of running a country? Kamala Harris and Doug Emhoff's love story began like many modern romances, with a blind date. Harris's best friend set them up, advising her not to Google him beforehand. This spontaneous approach seemed to work wonders. Their first phone call lasted an hour, and their subsequent first date in Los Angeles set the stage for a whirlwind romance. Emhoff was clearly smitten from the start. After just 2 dates, he was eager to introduce Harris to his children. This enthusiasm speaks volumes about his certainty in their connection. However, Harris took a more cautious approach. In her memoir, she wrote, "I wanted to make sure that Doug and I had something real and lasting before I waded into Cole's and Ella's lives." This thoughtful consideration demonstrates the seriousness with which Harris approached their relationship from the beginning. Their romance quickly blossomed into a strong partnership. Emhoff has been vocal about his admiration for Harris, both as a public figure and as a partner. He's described her as a wonderful, caring, loving wife and great mom behind the scenes. This public acknowledgement of Harris's personal qualities adds a human touch to her political persona, allowing voters to see her not just as a leader, but as a loving family member. The strength of their bond is evident in how they've navigated the challenges of public life together. When Harris announced her presidential campaign, Emhoff was right there beside her, supporting her ambitions. This mutual support has been a hallmark of their relationship, with each partner encouraging the other's professional pursuits. Their relationship has also been characterized by a sense of fun and playfulness, even amidst the pressures of political life. Cole Emhoff's description of his father and Harris as almost vomit-inducingly cute and coupley paints a picture of a pair who aren't afraid to show their affection, even in front of their adult children. This enduring honeymoon phase quality to their relationship has captured the public's imagination, offering a refreshing contrast to the often serious world of politics. The price of power. While their romance captivates the nation, another story lurks beneath the surface, one of financial sacrifice and public scrutiny. The Harris-Emhoff's net worth has become a hot topic, but what's the real price of power in American politics? As Kamala Harris transitioned from senator to vice president, her household income took a nosedive, dropping from over $3 million in 2019 to around $450,000 in 2023. That's an 85% decrease, a financial reality check that would make most people's heads spin. This dramatic shift in income raises some intriguing questions about the intersection of wealth and public service. How do you balance personal financial interests with a commitment to serving the public? It's not an easy tightrope to walk, especially when every financial decision is under the microscope of public opinion. The Harris-Emhoffs aren't just dealing with a pay cut, they're navigating a whole new financial landscape. Doug Emhoff's career change from high-powered entertainment lawyer to Georgetown University professor plays a big part in this. While a professor's salary of nearly $200,000 is nothing to sneeze at, it's a far cry from the 7-figure income he was used to. This career pivot wasn't just about avoiding conflicts of interest, it represents a real financial sacrifice in the name of public service. But here's where things get interesting. Despite the income drop, the Harris-Emhoff net worth has actually increased since taking office, rising from $7 million in 2021 to about $8 million in 2023. How? Well, it turns out that smart investments and valuable real estate can cushion the blow of a smaller paycheck. Their Brentwood home, purchased for $2.7 million back in 2012, has likely appreciated significantly in value. It's a reminder that wealth isn't just about income, it's about assets and long-term financial planning. This financial juggling act hasn't gone unnoticed. Critics have questioned how the couple can relate to average Americans while sitting on millions in assets. It's a fair point. $8 million puts them well above the median net worth of $121,700 for US households. But defenders argue that their willingness to take such a substantial pay cut shows a genuine commitment to public service.